Have you ever noticed how the tiniest win at the start of your day can change everything that follows? Imagine if a simple, almost boring habit could make you calmer under pressure, more resilient when things go wrong, and more confident when you face big goals. That is the surprising promise behind one of the most talked about graduation speeches of the last decade, which became a best selling book. Stay with me because by the end of this episode, you will have a set of straightforward habits that can lift your standards, steady your mind, and help you move through tough days with a sense of momentum. The book is Make Your Bed by Admiral William H. McRaven. McRaven commanded Navy SEALs and later oversaw special operations at the highest levels. The book expands on the lessons he shared with students at the University of Texas at Austin, drawn from brutal training, dangerous missions, and quiet moments of reflection afterward. It matters because the rules he learned in the most demanding environments translate to everyday life. You do not need to be a soldier to benefit. You just need a willingness to try small, disciplined actions that compound over time. At its core, the book says this: little things matter. They build the foundation for big things. If you want to change your life or even the world around you, start with simple, repeatable habits that shape your character and ripple outward. Let's explore the most practical ideas and turn them into moves you can use today. We'll start with what sounds like the easiest task of all and see why it is not trivial. Then we'll move to teamwork, resilience, courage, and hope, each with a story and a way to apply it. The first idea is to make your bed. In SEAL training, recruits make their beds with crisp precision every morning: corners tight, pillow centered, blankets smooth. It seems ridiculous when you know you are about to be cold, wet, sandy, and exhausted for the rest of the day. But it's not about the blanket. It's about starting with a small, measurable victory. When you make your bed, you prove to yourself that you can set a standard and meet it. That win gives you momentum. It also teaches you that attention to detail is not optional. In stressful environments, small errors become big problems. The simple act of making your bed says you care, you're in control of the next action, and you can build progress out of thin air. A practical way to apply this is to pair the bed habit with a second 2-minute task right after it. Fill a glass of water and drink it. Or write the 3 most important things for the day on a sticky note. You'll start your morning with 2 quick wins, and that feeling of capability follows you into tougher tasks. From the bed, we move to the boat. In training, SEAL candidates paddle rubber boats through heavy surf. No one can do it alone. Every stroke has to be synced, and the team has to trust each other. McCraven's lesson is simple: you cannot succeed without people who help you paddle. That's true in business, in school, and at home. There's a story of a small boat crew that consistently beat larger, stronger teams because they communicated better and kept morale high when the waves hit. Their advantage was not muscle, it was unity and clarity. To bring this into your life, identify your boat crew for the goals that matter. Who are the 2 or 3 people you can text on a hard day? Who keeps you honest when you drift? If that list is empty, start building it by being the person who shows up first for others. Offer help before you need it. Give credit generously. And set a visible standard for trust. You'll find that when your crew is strong, you can go farther, faster, and with less drama. Next, measure people by the size of their heart, not the size of their flippers. That's the language trainers use during a timed swim when they notice someone with shorter legs outperforming bigger candidates. In other words, what you can control matters more than what you cannot. During one training cycle, a group of smaller recruits formed a boat crew that kept defeating taller teams. They were relentless, cohesive, and refused to be defined by physical disadvantages. McCraven pushes us to judge ourselves and others by grit, attitude, and consistency. This lesson is easy to nod along with and hard to live. In the real world, we still compare resumes, titles, and superficial metrics. The practical move is to shift your scoreboard from external labels to controllable inputs. Track your reps, your outreach messages, your written pages, Your practice time. When evaluating team members, ask who prepares reliably, who learns quickly, and who lifts others. Over time, those behaviors beat raw talent. And if you feel underrated, remember that heart compounds just like interest in a bank account. Another lesson is to accept that life is not fair and still keep going. In training, there's a punishment called the sugar cookie. You get ordered to dive into the surf fully dressed, then roll in the sand until every inch of you is coated. You stay that way for the day. There's no reason given. You didn't necessarily make a mistake. The point is to remove the illusion that you will be treated fairly. You can do everything right and still get soaked in sandy. That's true at work when a project is cut for reasons outside your control or when someone else gets the spotlight. The response is not to sulk, it's to show up anyway. A way to train this is to choose one minor discomfort daily. Take the coldest shower. Do the annoying administrative task first. Say yes to the unglamorous duty your team keeps avoiding. Each choice builds the muscle for days when the sugar cookie is forced on you. You'll find that your mood depends less on perfect conditions and more on your decision to act. Closely related is the experience called the circus. In SEAL training, the circus is an extra 2 hours of grueling calisthenics at the end of the day for those who failed a standard. It's meant to break you down, but something interesting happens to the people who keep showing up to the circus and endure it. They get stronger than everyone else. The unfair penalty becomes an advantage because it creates extra adaptation. This is a reminder that setbacks can turn into growth spurts if you keep moving. In your life, the circus might be a failed exam, a deal that fell apart, or a season of rejection letters. The instinct is to hide. The better move is to take the extra reps. Ask for feedback. Double your practice sessions for the next month. Use the setback as an automatic trigger to increase effort where it matters most. The pain is real, but so is the gain. Courage is not just a feeling, it's a choice in the body. McCraven describes an obstacle course with a tall slide for life and a rope traverse. The fastest times came from people who were willing to go headfirst down the slide rather than hanging on and inching along. It looked more risky, but it was more efficient. The lesson is to commit when commitment gives you the best chance to win. In practical terms, that could mean shipping your project before you feel fully ready, pitching a client with a crisp offer instead of a rambling deck, or asking for the meeting you've been avoiding. If you've done the preparation, sometimes the bold path is actually safer because hesitation introduces more chances for error. A simple way to practice this is to name the one move today that would move the needle if you did it boldly. Then set a short timer and do it first with full focus. Head first beats half-hearted. There's also a stark lesson about fear. In Deanna training, candidates must swim at night through waters known for sharks. The rule is clear. If a shark circles you, do not swim away. Do not panic. If it moves towards you, hold your ground and punch it square on the snout. The metaphor is obvious but powerful. When fear approaches, face it. Running can make things worse. In ordinary life, sharks include hard conversations, debt you keep ignoring, or a medical test you're delaying. Turn towards these threats. Book the appointment. Open the spreadsheet. Speak the uncomfortable truth calmly and specifically. You may still feel scared, but action shrinks the dread. Each time you confront a shark, your brain learns that you can handle more than you thought. Then there's the moment when everything seems lost. In the book, McCraven tells of missions and training events where the night is cold and the mud is heavy. In one famous story, students are forced into a freezing swamp at night, neck deep in mud, and told they will stay until morning unless 5 of them quit. It's the low point. Someone begins to sing. One voice becomes many. Nothing about the situation changes, yet everything changes. The song turns misery into meaning and gives the team the energy to hold on. The lesson is that hope is not naive, it's fuel. When you're leading a family, a business, or a small project, Your job is to be the person who starts the song. Encourage with specifics. Remind the team of what has already been accomplished. Name the next small win and help them see a path through. On your own, create rituals that restore hope when you hit a wall. Put a short playlist on repeat during difficult work. Write a sentence every night about one thing that went right. These are not empty gestures, they're practical tools for staying in the game. Finally, there's the bell. In SEAL training, a brass bell sits in the center of the compound. Ring it, and you can end the pain. No more early mornings, no more cold water, no more long runs. Just ring the bell and quit. The lesson is profound because it's tempting. In our lives, the bell might be a resignation letter written in anger, a relapse into an old habit, or the choice to stop caring about quality. There are times when quitting is wise and strategic, but the warning here is about impulsive surrender. McRaven challenges us to choose endurance when the mission is worthy. One practical technique is to make quitting slow. If you feel like ringing the bell, wait 24 hours. Talk to one trusted person. Sleep on it. If the decision still feels right with a calm mind, proceed. Often, the urge to quit fades once the emotional storm passes. Another technique is to design your environment so the bell is harder to reach. Remove apps that distract you. Use accountability buddies. Disable one-click purchases when you are trying to save money. Discipline is easier when temptation is not sitting in the center of your morning. Let's pull this together so it sticks. Small habits create momentum. That is why making your bed matters. Teamwork beats raw strength when the waves get high. So choose your boat crew wisely and be a reliable teammate. Judge yourself and others by heart and consistency, not appearances. Life will sprinkle sugar on your uniform even when you did nothing wrong. So build the capacity to act without perfect fairness. When you find yourself in the circus, remember that extra strain can become your advantage if you embrace it. Commit boldly when commitment is the safer choice. When sharks appear, face them. When the mud gets cold and dark, be the voice that starts the song. And keep the bell out of reach unless there is a clear, thoughtful reason to change course. These are not abstract slogans. They are actions you can practice today and repeat tomorrow. If this resonated with you, consider reading the full book, Make Your Bed, by William H. McRaven. It is short, direct, and packed with stories that make the lessons memorable. And if you want to keep building momentum, explore related ideas like atomic habits, the power of routines, and how to lead under pressure. Try one tiny change tomorrow morning, then notice how that choice influences the rest of your day. If you enjoyed this summary, share it with someone who needs a practical boost right now, and tell me in the comments which habit you will try first. Your experience might be the spark that helps someone else keep going.